You know, there are some words we use so often we just don't even see them anymore. Today, we're going to put one of those words under the microscope. It's just 2 letters long, but you're about to see that it's packed with some serious power.
It all kicks off with a question you've probably been asked 1,000 times. Tea or coffee? It's so simple, so universal, right? But the entire choice, the whole mechanism that makes that question work, it all balances on one tiny little word, right there, in the middle.
And there it is, or. Or. It looks like nothing, but this word, this is the engine that drives decisions. It's the little hinge that swings the door open to different possibilities, to different futures, really.
Okay, so to really get a handle on its power, let's start with the absolute basics. What is its job? What's its simple, fundamental function in our language?
So its official job title is conjunction, and its whole purpose in life is to link 2 different options. It's the word that signals to your brain, all right, pick one. You can't have both. It literally creates the path for a decision to be made. Seems pretty straightforward, but it is absolutely essential.
All right, before we get to the really cool part about this word, let's do a quick technical breakdown, a little peek under the hood to see how this thing is built.
And it's funny, depending on where you're from, it'll sound a little different. Over in the UK, it's often a longer sound, kind of like aw. Here in the US, it can be a tighter or sometimes drawn out a bit like or. It's just a little reminder of how language is always shifting, isn't it?
And what's really wild is that this one little sound can mean totally different things. You've got or, like for rowing a boat, or the stuff you dig out of a mine, and even the old-timey poetic o'er for over. You gotta love how the English language keeps us on our toes. Okay, basics are covered. Now we get to the real heart of this thing. Because or isn't just another word in the dictionary. Oh no. It is a member of a very exclusive and very important little club.
And here it is. According to our source, the word or is on the Basic English 850 list. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What's that? But trust me, this is a huge deal. This means or is considered one of the most fundamental words for human communication. Period. I mean, just let that number sink in for a second. 850. Out of the hundreds of thousands of words in the English language, somebody had to create a master list of the absolute essentials, and or made the cut. So, what exactly is this list? Well, the Basic English 850 is a special set of words, hand-picked, because they're powerful enough to explain even really complex ideas, but simple enough that anyone in the world could learn them for clear communication. It's like the ultimate linguistic toolkit.
And that brings us to the biggest question of all. Why? Why does a simple word like or get this VIP status? It's because the job it does isn't really simple at all. It's foundational.
Think about what or really does. It doesn't just sit there. It actively forges a link between alternatives. It creates the very concept of choice in our minds. It lets us build logical statements. You can't even plan your day without thinking, am I going to do this or that? You can't write computer code without the logic of if this or that. Without this little word, our ability to reason, to plan, to express who we are, it would all be so much harder. It's a fundamental building block of how we think.
So that kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on. If a tiny vocabulary of just 850 words is enough to explain pretty much anything, what other simple, everyday things are we taking for granted? What else out there holds that same kind of surprising power? Something to think about.